Are we ready, Ambika?
Yeah, people are still coming in. Should we
Let's
wait for
it.
another minute? Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Maybe we can start now and then see. Because now I think it's a bit more stable. There are 1 or 2 people coming in, but it should be, I think we can start.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome on this Saturday afternoon. I'd like to introduce my co-hosts here. We have Professor Gaurav Bhatnagar, who teaches mathematics at Ashoka University, and he himself has experienced a program such as this some years ago, and he's really excellent at teaching mathematics as well as a researcher. And my other colleague here is Dr. Anupama Ambika Anil Kumar. She's done a PhD in cell biology, and she's also a top-class researcher, and she's worked with various organizations in enabling research in our ecosystem, and now directs the Ashoka Genius Programme supported by Lodha. So we are here to present you a brief overview of the program, as well as then take your questions. And because we'd like to spend a significant part of our time answering your questions, I'll hand over to Ambika right away so that she can make a presentation about the overview of the program. Thank you. Over to you, Ambika.
Thanks, Vijay. So before I start, if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A box and we can discuss it as soon as we finish with the presentation. I'm just going to share my screen right now. And yes, can you see my screen? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So as you know, this is the overview session of the introduction to the Lodha Genius Programme, which is run by Ashoka University and which will be held at Ashoka University from May 18th to June 17th this year, which will start with the summer program. And the main idea of putting together this program is to benefit the school children from 9th standard to 12th standard, to give them decent exposure to maths and science, which they might not get at such a close level in their high schools. So this might enable them to sort of get engaged with great mathematicians and scientists coming from all over the world, particularly to sort of enrich all these students with mathematics and science skills, which are required for the real world scenario. So the key features of this program is that this is 100% scholarship program, which means that the students who will be enrolled for this program do not have to spend any money for tuition fees, for their stay, food, accommodation, and for their travel. So this can be reached, we can reach out to the all levels of students coming from all schools, government schools, private schools, students who are also undergoing homeschooling. They are also eligible to apply for this program. And the main idea is to enroll children, enroll students who have a good interest and passion for mathematics and science. So if you are that student, and if you're the parent of that student, or if you're the teacher of that student, please ask the student to apply for this program. And we will shortly take you into the details of this program. And we have a stellar list of faculties who are going to teach you at the program. Some of them are from Ashoka, but a lot of them are from outside, from very, very prestigious universities like the Yale University and University of Chicago, and Princeton University and Cambridge University, and so on and so forth. So I think getting exposed and getting engaged with these stellar faculty is the main advantage of getting enrolled in this program. And also, of course, you will get hands-on training on a lot of equipments And we will also teach you how to do science in everyday life and how to do mathematics and solve problems in everyday life. So this is not a program where you sort of come across very sophisticated techniques and then you go back and you do not have access to it. Here we teach you how to do science in the most simple environment, and how to ask questions, how to be trained as a researcher, and how to effectively solve problems. So this is your chance to sort of see the mathematics and science at a very, very close level, for which we have laid out some sort of a schedule for you. So in each day, you will be exposed to a great idea seminar, which is actually given by Nobel laureates, which are given by great scientists, mathematicians coming from all over the world just to see you, just to interact with you. And these will be really inspiring for you, because this is exactly about the kind of real world class science that's going out there. And you will have very close encounter with that. And then comes the practical aspects and the core of the program, which is the mathematics problem solving. I think if you have questions regarding this, Professor Gaurav can explain to you about it shortly. So here you will be really working with Olympiad trainers, the international and national Olympiad trainers, and they will sort of help you develop your problem-solving ability. And in the science projects, you will have different kinds of projects, around 20 projects that we plan to offer you in the field of microscopy, astronomy, science communication, ecology, and life sciences. So here you actually get a real world experience of the lab, how it is to sort of engage with these equipments. How do you frame a question? How do you ask a question? And how do you interpret the results? And we will also have to give a presentation of the projects that you have done by the end of your 4 weeks training. And of course, we will leave some room for you to relax and have your sports activity, because the Ashoka campus is great for that. If you go to the website of the Lodha Genius Programme, you can actually see how green and how relaxing is the campus of Ashoka. So I can assure all the parents and teachers that you are sending your kids to the right place, and they will have a fantastic experience just living on campus. And this is why it's very important that we have to do it in this residential manner. So you can ask us any questions regarding this area of the hospitality and also the residents in the campus for the 4 weeks. So basically, this is what I have been telling in the beginning about the Great Idea Seminar. We will have about 12 or more seminars for a period of 4 weeks, which will bring great scientists and mathematicians very close to the students who are going to be enrolled in this program. And then we have the math problem solving. They will be given very tough problems, which they will solve, hopefully by the end of the 4-week program. And that is our goal, that they also enjoy the whole process of solving these tough problems. And I'm pretty sure they will all come out with great ideas about mathematics and great skills on how to solve these problems. And during the science project, they will conduct experiments themselves. And I think in India right now, in a lot of schools, we don't have labs of that, labs which has that infrastructure, labs that has facility, and also above all the faculty who are so experienced in dealing with these students of this age. And the only motive of them coming for this course is to sort of impart that knowledge and make better scientists for tomorrow and better researchers for tomorrow. And of course, during the whole process of teaching them maths and science, we will take care of the ethical and the moral values of these kids by sort of showing them examples, because ethics and moral science is not something which can be taught in a classroom. It has to be done with examples. So we have carefully crafted and drafted the experiments and also the math sessions by taking into account all these aspects. So here you can see how the sort of a visual of how the different subjects will be projected, and we will be pretty much doing what you are seeing right now in front of your screen. So I think it will be a fantastic opportunity for all these students to engage with us, with the different faculty that's coming from all over the world. in all these subjects, because they get to build a microscope, they get to build a telescope, and then they can do field trips for ecology and understand how animals and birds and human beings coexist, and do some analysis on it. And of course, you have a lot of exposure to mathematics and computer science through that. And I think it's very important to have this perspective, which is very lateral in nature, to understand, to do good science and good maths in their future. So for this, now that I've mentioned about the program, there are certain eligibility criteria which you have to bear in mind to enroll for this program. The first thing being there's curiosity and passion for maths and science, as I said. And of course, we take a look at your academic performance, about the consistency, but that's not something which we are hell-bent on. Sort of, if you have scored 70 marks or 90 marks, we will not differentiate you, so that I can be clear. And for the application process, if you go to the website, you can get access to the application portal, which you have to fill in your basic details. And then you have to also obtain a letter of consent and recommendation from your respective, from the parent and from the principal. This is just because we need to make sure if you apply for the program, you will be able to come on site for the 4 weeks. It is just for us to make sure that you will be present there. The recommendation letter doesn't mean that we want that principal to highly recommend you for the program. Of course, if that is there, then that's an added bonus. But I wouldn't say it is. This 2 letters are majorly documented so that you can come for the program without any trouble, even if you have to skip classes, because some of you might not have vacation or holidays during that time. So that is why we are asking you to give this letter. In case you have any problem obtaining this letter, please write to us. I will provide you an email address, which is Lodha Genius Programme at ashoka.edu.in. I will put it in the chat box right after this presentation. Please write to us in case of any complication in obtaining these letters, and we will help you through. And you also have to upload your mark sheets and scores for the last 2 years. And again, if you have any doubt here in the uploading of mark sheets, please contact us and we'll help you through. And here, I need to also stress that students of class 9, 10, 11, 12, if you are in these classes as of May 2023, you are eligible to apply for this program. So if you just finished your 8th standard exams and if you're in transition to class 9, for example, you can apply for this. But if you are going to college, if you just finished your 12th standard and if you're going to college, then you will not be eligible for this program. So basically, if you have reviewed your eligibility criteria based on the points I just have said, you can just go ahead and fill in the online application form and upload the relevant documents, and then you submit the application. So for the consent letter and for the recommendation letter, you just have to give the email ID of your parent and of your principal in the application portal. A separate email will be going to their respective inboxes with all the instructions, including the template for the consent form and of the recommendation letter. They just have to download that, fill it in, and upload it where they are required to upload. All the instruction is given to them. So in case they do not receive an email, and in case they have some problem in uploading, please write to us in the address, which I'm going to give you in the chat box. This is very, very, very important. And once you submit the application, and once it's complete, we will send out to you a username and password for an online test. Gaurav will elaborate more on it later. So this is going to be on the 15th of April. So the deadline for the application is on 10th of April, and the test will be on the 15th of April. You do not have to come to any particular exam site for this. If you have a stable internet connection and a laptop or a phone with a camera, this is sufficient. You can take the test from anywhere. And this is going to be only for a period of 30 minutes. So you just have to block that 30 minutes window on the 15th of April. And we will let you know the timings very shortly after you submit your application. And so if you score well in the test, then you will be shortlisted and we will contact you. And then you can sort of make your travel plans to come to the Ashoka campus, which is in Sonipat, Haryana, for the residential program. So here, are the main criteria. So as I said, if you fulfill the eligibility criteria, you can go ahead by submitting your applications. We would, of course, review the academic performance to just make sure that there is some consistency in that. And then once we receive all your principal references, and if you do not have principal references, if that is inaccessible, you can also give your teacher references, provided that they let you attend the program. So if they can sort of give you the permission that you can, if you have classes during that period, you can skip those classes and come to the program, you are welcome to do so. You can approach your teacher also. And then, of course, once your application is submitted, we will send you the test details, and you will come for the test on the 15th online, not offline, online. And then based on your scores, we will give you the confirmation letter. So these are the important key dates that you have to keep in mind. Application is already open, and it will close on April 10th. So do not wait to start your application until April 9th or 10th, because you might face some problems. So please start your applications early, and you have your tentative test date, which is on April 15th. And then you will receive all your offer letters and confirmations between 18th and 23rd of April. And your on-campus modules will start on May 18th and will go on till June 17th. And so I just want to also emphasize the fact that this is just not a summer school, because this will have a very continued online mentoring for you. So we will get back to you with details of that. But right now, the focus here is about the on-campus program. But I'm telling you that you will have access to a lot of resource materials if you are enrolled for this program. And we will be in touch with you throughout the year for a period of 11 months. And then you can come back to this program next year also, if you are eligible, if all the eligibility criteria still holds true. So these are the important dates that you have to keep in mind. And if you have not started your application, or if your students have not received this, please pass on this information, because we have very few days before the application closure. So we are on April 25th right now. So as I said, this is a 100% scholarship program, which makes it very accessible for students coming from any part of the country, irrespective of their financial background. So we provide you travel and also study materials and boarding and lodging at this beautiful campus, which you can see on the left side. So all the photos that I show here are representative of the campus. So this will give you an idea of how the campus is going to look. So mostly for parents and teachers, you can see that it's a very safe environment, and Ashoka is a residential university. So we are fully equipped with dealing with students. So you don't have to worry anything regarding their hospitality or anything regarding that. So that's all I have to say. I don't know whether Gaurav wants to say a word or two about the test, or should we just go ahead and take questions? Up to you.
So thank you very much, Ambika. I think it'll be good for Gaurav to give an overview. I notice almost a very large number of the questions are regarding the test. So while Ambika answers the other questions, I'll hand over to Gaurav with the request that he particularly addresses the point about the test. I also notice a couple of people have raised their hands. So let's wait for Gaurav to finish, and we can take questions from them and from others. Over to you, Gaurav. Gaurav, you're muted.
Okay, thank you very much. I noticed that there are lots and lots of questions about the test. So I just want to, I suppose everybody is quite, a lot of students are anxious that how they will do the test, what the test will contain, what are the subjects covered, what are we looking for, etc., etc. So let me say that the test first of all, it is one of the items which we will use to create to choose the students. What we are looking for is, we'll try to make sure that when we choose 100 students, they are a bunch which you will all be happy to be part of, first of all. It will be a diverse and this bunch. The other type of question that we have asked is, what are the subjects for the quiz? There are no subjects. There is no preparation required. It's an aptitude test, which you will take. The third question I saw was that how will you differentiate between students who have finished in 8th grade and some students who finished 11th grade? How will we differentiate or distinguish between the students with the same test? So you leave that to us. We will figure out a way on how to do that. You don't worry about it. There's no need to prepare for the test. Just go with an open mind. Do as well as you can. Do as many questions as you can, and then leave the rest to us. Okay, that's all I had to say about the test. Now questions, perhaps.
Okay, I just want to I just went quickly through the question answers. So other than the test, I think there are some concerns about how the students will reach to the campus. So we are still figuring out the logistics to make sure how we can do it in a safe manner. So of course, the parents or the teachers, if they want to drop their students on campus, they can do that. And they cannot stay on campus, of course, with the students, but they are very welcome to come and drop the students and spend some time on the campus on the 17th of May. That is one day before the program starts, because the students need to be here, because we start the program on May 18th morning. So you need to all come on May 17th. But you don't have to really worry about the logistics at all. So you will have to book your travel by yourself from the cities to the campus by train or by flight, but we will reimburse you very soon as you come on board for the program. So that can be done. If that is another question, I think people will have. But otherwise, we will always direct you as to how to come to the campus. But if your parents are willing to travel with you, we will not reimburse the cost of the parents. We will reimburse only the cost of the student. So even if you have to book it right now, it's okay. We will reimburse it to you as soon as we can. So I think that another question is again about the grade 8 students. The grade 8 students, whether they can apply who just finished the exams. Of course, they can. So this is what I said, that if you have given your 8th grade exams right now, you can apply as a 9th grade student. So that is completely fine. And that is what has to be entered in the application form. So Gaurav, there is a question about, does academic marks matter for the program? Do you want to take that?
Yeah, so for the entry criteria, we want to look at your marks, but we may not do any, we may not remove anybody for not doing so well. The primary interest is that, are you interested and do you think you are good and in the subjects? And then you take the test. The marks are there, we will consider it, but it's not a determining factor. Just if you're interested, please apply. Don't worry about what will happen.
Yeah, there are also queries about receiving sample question paper. So I think that can be answered from the answers you said right now.
Yeah.
So
the questions are about reasoning and logic, and they are the same questions whether you're in the 9th or 10th or 11th. And of course, depending on which class you are, what marks you get will be weighted so that it's calibrated to what your classes are. But really, the questions are not about your syllabus and about content.
Yes. That's absolutely true. There is a question on how many students will be taken this year. We will be taking 100 students this year. So, but please do apply. And of course, as you said, the question, as Gaurav and Vijay said, the question, you don't have to worry about the questions. I know there are some queries here. How are we going to equate the students in class 9 to class 12? Because they're all going to take the same exam. Do you want to answer that, Vijay?
As I said, it's the questions are about reasoning and logic. And we expect that students in class 9, 10th, and 11th would have those abilities to answer those kinds of questions framed. If for some reason people in 12th do better than 10th, do better than 9th, and so on and so forth, that will be calibrated in our choice. We would like students, these 100 students, to be distributed between class 9, 10th, and 11th, so that those who do well in the 9th can come back next year, and those who do well in the 11th can continue and be mentored. Everyone will be mentored. So yes, so don't worry so much about the test. Show that you're interested and apply. And I'm sure that if you're, there'll be lots of good applications, but all of those who are enthusiastic have a good chance.
There is a question about transitioning of the students. So I think we have received actually a lot of questions regarding this, which is a student goes from an old school to a new school, and which recommendation letter will they be giving? Because he has not even reached the new school. So they will join the new school only after the program, possibly. So how can we get this recommendation letter? So in that case, I think, Vijay, if the parent consents that the student their kid can come for the program for the entire 4 weeks, I think that should be okay.
Right. See, the principal point about the letter from the school is the following, that because of the nature of different periods of vacations for schools all over India, it's not possible to have a time which is a vacation period for everyone. So many people in the 4 weeks will have 3 weeks on vacation and might need 1 week or maybe 2 weeks more during school break to get permission from the school to come. That's the purpose. So if you're going to a new school, then the new school should be comfortable with your coming. Supposing you have to stay for 2 extra weeks, the new school should be comfortable with that. This is a very, very exciting program, and it will benefit the student, of course, but also the school. So it's not something which is a vacation or something which will have problems for the student if they miss 2 weeks. We expect that these talented students, these gifted students, will benefit enormously, but they will also be able to catch up if they miss a couple of weeks.
Just to add to that, if you are facing problems, please do write to us, and perhaps we can speak with the principal if required.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that there are some issues which has been raised by certain schools. I think they are government schools, and I think the principal is not authorized to give a letter to attend the program of a private university. This is some question we got. And so how do they go ahead with the recommendation letter? So in any cases, I'm just going to put the address, email ID that you have to write to us in those conditions, in those cases, and we can deal with it in a case-to-case basis as to how to get it smoother for you. So I'm just going to write down the email ID here. And before the next question, I just wanted to add, because there has been some questions on the logistics, whether to and fro transport will be provided. So you can book your train or plane ticket to come to Ashoka. So we will reimburse you. That's how it will be. And you just have to, we will send out detailed emails once you are selected, asking which is your train, when is your train coming, and when is your plane coming, and things like that. So we will make sure we'll guide you properly through the entire process. So, and of course, the teachers or the parent can come accompanying them to the campus. And if they wish to take a tour of the campus on the first day, which is the 17th of May, that is possible also. And there's also a question regarding the food, whether the students have to buy food or they will be given food. Of course, they will be given food. They don't have to buy anything. This is a 100% scholarship program. So all the stay, food, everything will be taken care of. And it is made in the most hygienic condition. There has been so many students in Ashoka who've been eating the food, including me. So you don't have to worry about the quality of the food or quality of the stay or anything. So just go to the website and you have a really good video and a walkthrough of the entire campus. So if that gives you some sort of assurance. So I think we can sort of start taking the raised hand questions. I can probably give that right to the people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to the attendees, and I have the first one by Samriddhi. I'm just letting her in. Samriddhi, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I just wanted to know about the exam level of this aptitude exam.
Okay.
Gaurav,
Gaurav, you
can you
want to
answer that?
Yeah.
It's sort of been answered already, but maybe it bears repeating since many people have asked this.
Yeah, so the test is on basic logic, and there is no level. Anybody can there's no subject matter required to answer the questions. Just go there and just think and answer. Don't worry about it. You don't need to prepare for it.
Yes. Okay, so we move to the next person, which is Parimoksha.
Parimoksha, before you come in, just to reiterate that Ambika has put the email ID on the chat box. It's also there on the website. So please use that for any more detailed questions or any individual related questions. Over to you, Parimoksha.
Parimoksha, are you there? We can't hear you in case you're speaking. Okay, I think there is some issue there. I'll connect the next person, which is Fatima.
Yeah,
Fatima?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes. So first of all, thank you for clarifying that doubt related to, if grade 8 students can apply. So I had a follow-up question related to that. Our grade 8 students will actually be writing their final exams from next week onwards, and they will be getting report cards by April end. So are they still eligible to apply?
Yes, they are.
Okay, thank you. And we tried filling an application form yesterday. I'm not sure if I referred to the right link, but I couldn't find an option where the students have to enter the principal's email ID so that, I can write the letter of recommendation. And also, I couldn't find the option for parents' consent.
Okay, if you go further in the application, there are two, you have been to the Lodha Genius Programme application, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go inside, there are two places. One is a letter of recommendation and a parent consent letter. It's a separate, when you move forward after the contact details, academic details and all that, this is the window which comes up. Have you reached that stage?
So again, I don't know if I was referring to the right form. We entered the student's name, date of birth, current grade, and then after filling some personal details, the next option was submit, register or submit.
No, this must be the registration page probably. I'll send you the right link in the chat box.
Yeah, that will be helpful. Thank you.
This is the initial page. So just wanted to make sure that nobody has this confusion. So once you submit that, it's an email verification. So this is the basic information that we need from you to make you're a genuine human being who's applying. So once you hit the submit, it is not a submission of the application. It is basically your details are going to the database, and we are making sure that your email is a verified email. After that, you will be getting you will get a link to apply, and then you will see the all these different sections that I mentioned. So do not stop there. You can submit it, and then you can get the actual link.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So these are the questions I had.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Ishan now. Ishan, can you unmute and ask? Ishan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question. Actually, I just have finished with my class 10th boards. And in my school, the mark sheets available to me are the pre-board 2 mark sheet and the class 9 finals mark sheet. So will those two work?
Yes, you can upload that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And the school was saying that they are just giving me a hard copy. They don't have any soft copy or anything.
You can just take a picture of that, yeah,
and then I
upload
can
it.
upload that from here.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And when is the registration open?
The registration is already open. So you can go ahead today and take a look at the form.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. That's all.
Okay.
So just to reiterate what Ambika said, go to the registration page, put your email ID and once you register, you will get an email which you have to follow up for filling in the application.
Yes. And we go to the next person, which is Chavi. Chavi, you can ask.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I have one question related to the specifications of laptop. Is there any kind of software or laptop specifications required for the test?
No, we don't. You just have to need a stable internet connection and a basic laptop or a phone connection. That works.
Okay. And my second query would be where I can find this registration link.
You mean for the, if I have put the Lodha Genius Programme.com, there's a link here in the chat if you can see. If you go to that, in the first page itself, there is a button called Apply Now. It's an orange button. Just click on it. You will get you will be taken to the registration page.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Next, we go on to Rajdeep. Rajdeep.
Yeah, ma'am. I wanted to ask, like, the accommodation for girls and boys is separate?
Yes, it is.
And since they are too small at the moment, I mean, just gone to the 10th. So would they be provided something like a course material and all?
You mean during the course? Yes, yes, of course they will be. They will be. And you don't have to worry about their accommodation and anything that they need, because we also have students of Ashoka who will be taking care of them. So they will be there will be an in charge for them, like for a group of 5 to 10 students. So any need that they have, they just have to contact this person and that will be sorted. And of course, they will be getting course materials during the course.
And how to move around in the campus and everything, right?
Yes, yes, yes. We will be giving them a detailed, we will give all the details before they join. Once their enrollment is confirmed, we will be sending out all these details, like a small handbook. Yeah.
Just in case, due to change in place and change in weather, I mean, they're not well or something.
Yeah.
Then,
you don't have to worry about that at all, because we have a very well-equipped infirmary, like a small hospital inside Ashoka, and we have very good doctors and nurses who would take care of you. Take care of the student. So you don't have to worry about that at all. It's very well-equipped. That's the advantage, that because Ashoka is a residential university, there are a lot of students. All the students are staying on campus, and of course they have varying needs. They might be a bit more older than the student who's going to come for the program, but that doesn't have any difference in the way they will be treated. So of course they will have an infirmary access 24/7.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. So we move to the next question. This is Sahasra. Sahasra?
Yeah. I'm her mother, Swapna. Good afternoon, all. Actually, she could not attend because her pre-boards are going on and she's taking up the exam at school. She has a question she wanted me to ask you. And it seems she has emailed also that she has filled up the application 3 days back. And her school principal, who's a recommender, did not receive the email to send out the recommendation for her. But after listening to the whole information, what you have given today, I felt like because she's a transition student, now she's in 10th, will be giving the board soon and shifting to the college next. And it's a vacation period. Is it really needed, the recommendation letter still, or?
So can you write to us on that email ID that you have given, the Lodha Genius Programme? And then we're taking this on a case-to-case basis. The reason why I'm asking you to write is that so that we have a record of it and we'll take care of it. And then we will reply back to you so you are also assured. So just write an email in that address. That's it.
Okay. Then I'll ask Hasra to send out another email about her transition as well. I think she has already sent it this morning.
Okay. We will reply. Yeah. We will reply very soon. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
By the way, I really appreciate the program, the scholarship program, and it's very innovative actually for the students.
Thank you. I hope everyone else who are here also feel the same. And if you have any doubt regarding the quality of the program or how it's conducted, please feel free to shoot the questions. And also you can write to us in case we are not able to cover all the questions this time, because as usual, there are always hands raised and always a lot of questions asked. So let's go to Chaitra now. Chaitra?
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, I had a query about this program. I currently don't have my 8th grade mark sheet.
Yeah.
And I'm studying in I'm going to 10th. Is it okay if I don't post it? I have my 9th grade one, so.
What you don't have? You don't have 8th grade. You have 9th grade and 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade also I have.
Okay, can you just upload those two?
Yeah, sure. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go to Avanisha.
Hello, ma'am. I'm actually homeschooler. So I have given my 8th standard exam this year. And I have given my 5th standard exam. There is no exam for 6th and 7th as a homeschooler. So is it okay if I just upload my 8th mark sheet and 5th mark sheet, or 5th mark sheet and 4th mark sheet? Because I'm not sure if I will get the 8th mark sheet before the submission day.
Gaurav, do you want to answer and probably give why they have to upload the mark sheets and what is possible and not? Because I think a lot of questions are around the mark sheet uploading.
Yeah, so I presume as a homeschooler, your parents are helping you, or you're learning on your own? Who are the adults?
I'm learning on my own.
Okay, but we just require one letter from your parent, maybe explaining that you're a homeschooler. This is a history, and that should be fine. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Okay, then we'll have Amrita here. Amrita?
Yeah, hi. I'm from the Akanksha. You can hear me?
Yes.
So I'm from the Akanksha Foundation, and our children give the state board exams. I'm not talking, I'm totally convinced about the residential training, but I'm talking more about after the residential. I think every quarter there'll be some kind of workshop or something that the kids will have to be part of. Just correct me if I'm wrong. So I wanted to know, in the month of December, will they be able to cope with the pre-boards as well as, preparing for the boards? Will there be an, like an overlap thing, or just wanted to know about that?
So maybe I can comment about the post-campus interaction, how the mentoring will go on after that. And I'm sure Ambika and Gaurav can add to that. Essentially, there will be components available on the web, and this could be interesting lectures or mentoring sessions, which are web-based, problems to be solved, solutions to problems, and so on. And you can set your own pace when you want to access them and when you want to use them, and so on. So there will be a lot of flexibility there. It's not something which is a compulsory session or an in-person session at any time. And Gaurav and Ambika could add to that.
Gaurav, do you want to?
Yeah, so just to add to it, it's, we hope that the children who come to our program will be sufficiently interested, and in some sense they will get to know how things really happen in the scientific or mathematical world. So they will be pulled to, they may perhaps be pulled towards doing the kind of activities that we suggest, and but they are optional. So and it will be clear to the children how much time they want to spend on it. It will be up to them on how they want to do. If they're interested, the activities won't hurt them. They'll only be making them better prepared for their normal school work. But on the other hand, yes, I mean, we don't want them to ignore the school work. That has to happen too.
Yes, and before we go on to the next set of questions, there are some questions about the dates. Again, I think probably you missed it in the presentation. I want to say that this webinar is recorded and will be available in the website, which I have mentioned here, the Lodha Genius Programme. It will be, so the first webinar, which was last Saturday, is already available. You can just go to the website, click on the events link, and you will get it. For this webinar will be available in 4-5 days from now. So you don't have to worry. The presentation is already there, so you don't have to worry about any details. Having said that, there are some queries about the dates. So the 10th is the deadline of the application, and on 15th, you will have the online test. And by 18th, you will get the confirmation whether you're shortlisted for the program or not. So all these things will be, all the deadlines are also given in the presentation, which is there in the first half of this webinar. So please go to the recorded version in case you have any confusion, or just write to us. We can also send you the presentation if you would like to, or the link of the webinar if you don't find it.
If I may add one point to that, I think this is very important, what you've said. There are also FAQs on the website. And your questions, some of them today, for example, or other people's questions, one may not be able to answer them specifically, but they will be overlapping with questions which others have. So the FAQs will be constantly updated. So please take a look at that, and you will probably find the answer to your questions there. If you don't, then don't hesitate to write.
Okay. There is a question on whether NRIs can do this course. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, as long as you're studying in a school in India, it doesn't matter what your nationality is, you can apply.
Yes. And there are some questions, but I don't know whether it's repetitive. It's the same people, but I'll just ask whether they have a question. 1 second. Fatima, do you have a question, or did you finish asking the question?
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just lower my hand. I'm done with my questions.
Okay. I think these are ones. So I think we can go to the, there are so many questions, around 57, which are open on the FAQs. So they have a question about whether mobile phones and devices are allowed on campus. I think you can take them, because we will have some interesting projects which will require your tablets, laptops, or mobile phones. So please, whatever electronic devices you have, you're welcome to take them.
But also I must stress that those who don't have mobile phones or laptops should not feel and will not be disadvantaged in any way. They will have access to the internet and to any requirements which in the projects which require use of computers or access to data. They will all have that. So don't worry if you don't have your laptop. If you have one, you're free to bring it along.
Yeah. So are parents allowed to meet their kids during the 1-month stay in Ashoka University? So we're just allowing the parents to come on the first day to accompany the kids and to take the kids in the last day, because otherwise I don't know whether it will be a stress for the kid to keep seeing the parent, and sort of it is a breakout from the kind of environment that we're trying to create, not because we don't want you to meet them, just because maybe if you meet them, the other kids might feel that their parents have not come or something like that. It's a very complicated thing. So in order to avoid any such complications, we strongly urge you to leave them on campus on the 17th and then take them off the campus during the 17th or 18th of June.
If any particular student has any issue, of course, we will address that and respond to that. And if any particular parent has particular concern, we'll of course do that. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. And there is a query about they have submitted everything. All the letters are complete. When will they receive the test dates? Not test date, test details. And that will be after the deadline. So it will be on the 10th of April or 11th of April that you will be receiving all the details about the test. Not before that. So you just have to wait patiently so that we can close all the applications and then do that. So is this a last webinar regarding this program, or will there be one more coming on Saturday? Okay, so we will be doing 2 more webinars after this. So it will be Saturday at 11:30. So next webinar will be at 11:30 a.m. on the next Saturday. So if you have missed this, or if your friends or colleagues or students, whoever have missed this, they can come back next Saturday at 11:30 a.m. So just notice the time. The time is a bit different. Today it was 12:30, and next Saturday is going to be 11:30. So you can also, as I said, get the recorded versions of the webinar on the website. So that can be done. So there is a question about what is the percentage of me getting in? So that we cannot say. Of course, it depends on the test and how you score in the test. So as I said, there are 100 students who will be enrolled to the program. So just apply. Don't worry about all these questions. As Vijay said, if you are interested in doing science and maths, and if you want to, if you see the importance of it in your life, please go ahead and apply for the program. Do not think whether you will get in or not get in and things like that. And it doesn't matter actually. So there is another question about since it's new for kids to stay away alone, if you due to some reason the kid wants to withdraw from the program in the middle, will it be allowed? Vijay, do you want to answer that?
No, as Ambika said, that we will make every effort to make sure that the stay is comfortable. That will of course happen, but also any particular need which is meaningful or particular to any child will be addressed. Now, if despite that, if someone wants to drop out for some reason, either they can't adjust to the academic profile or the place or something like that, of course, it's not a lock and key. You're most welcome to withdraw, but we do hope that that situation will not arise.
Okay, and I don't know whether there are still some hands, but I think these names are familiar to me. I feel that Avanisha, do you need to ask a question, or it was a previous question?
Yeah, I actually have another question. It's regarding the last question I asked. In the application form, where I have to submit the mark sheets, I can only see options of class 8 and class 7. But as I'm a homeschooler, I don't have those exams. So what should I submit in that case?
That's okay. You can submit the last 2. You don't have to look at the name on the top. But just after doing that, just drop in an email to us into the Lodha Genius Programme email ID, which I have provided in the chat, to make sure that we take a note of it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And we have Parimoksha again. Let me see whether... Parimoksha, do you have a question?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm Parimoksha's father.
Okay.
My question is regarding the exam again. Will the exam be proctored, or it will be like a Zoom meeting or something like that?
Gaurav, do you want to say?
Yeah, so the exam is proctored, but it's an unusual approach to proctor it. It is proctored online.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can tell if somebody cheats or something like that.
Okay.
But they will. It's not that you have to keep your videos on when you are and give the program permissions to take pictures and so on.
That will be like you will be having some site to host the exam, or it will be through some Google link or something like that, or it will be hosted on some separate website?
Yeah, so we will give you the details as the time comes close. But yeah, it's this is in online testing days. This is quite standard now.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir. My second question is: this is a half an hour exam. So, how many questions are we expecting to get to answer to?
As many questions as a student can answer, they answer.
How many questions will be there in the exam for half an hour? How many questions can be?
So those details I don't want to give right now.
Okay.
There will be so many questions that almost nobody will be able to do all of the questions.
Got your point, sir. Got your point. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a thank you. That's a common question about how many questions, what are the questions. I think, and there are some people I think who came late, but we have already spoken about the nature of the test and everything. So you can always go back to the recording. It's available in the website, which we have put it in the chat window. We'll take the next question from Shraddha.
Hello, ma'am. So you were answering a previous query, which is about a person who finished their 10th board exam, and you asked them to register as 11th grader. So I have already registered, and I also just finished my 10th board exam. And when I registered myself as a 10th grader. So after I got my account made and all, when I go to the marks uploading page, it is 8th and 9th. So is there any way I can change the class to 11th?
That's okay. It's only about the uploading. You will be uploading the right mark sheets, right? So just upload the right mark sheets and drop in a mail to us so that we can take a note of it.
Okay. So wait, you want me to do 9th and 10th, right?
9th and 10th, yes.
Okay. And I will send you a mail telling you about it. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is Jyoti who has a question.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, I wanted to know how much will be the selection ratio, like the number of the participants, because as you told, the students will have 100 students batch. So
yes.
How much applicant you are expecting?
That's a good question. We are also trying to do some analytics as to how many applicants we're expecting. Vijay, Gaurav, you want to?
This is the first year. So we'll be able to answer your question better next year. This year, it's a mystery to us as to you. But we're committed to taking 100 good people. So if there are 100 good people, we'll certainly take them all.
Sir, in case, sir, if the number of applicants are too much, like beyond your imagination, so can you extend like the 100 limit to 150 or 120 if the good students are more?
Not this year. I mean, it can be a little more than 100 or a little less than 100, but not too much. Because really the point is about getting quality attention to every student. And therefore, we have to make sure that, it's not a class size where this is not possible. So that's really the limitation. Otherwise, one would love to take every single talented student.
And sir, one more. In case the student don't get selected this year, and if he applies next year again, will he have that weightage of like this year he has not?
No. Please, no problem at all. Apply again. Again, it depends on what happens next year. Those who have been selected one year and who have an opportunity to apply again, how they have done, how comfortable they are, how they have done, that will matter for their selection next year. So, but fresh applicants are always welcome. Those who haven't gotten this year are most welcome to apply again, and not having gotten 1 year will not be held against them.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are I think 3 minutes over time, but probably we can keep taking a couple more questions and then we can close the webinar if that's okay. There's a question again from Amrita. Amrita, do you have a question? Okay, I don't know. I think I'll just remove Amrita there. Ishan, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm potentially changing my school this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, will you require the letter of consent from the new school and the letter of recommendation from the old school? Is that it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are asking these questions, and which I think we tried answering earlier. But just to clarify, the letter of consent has to be from your parent, so that the parent can give. And the letter of recommendation, if it is, I mean, the main idea of having these things is to make sure that you will be able to come. So you can give the letter of recommendation from your previous school, but then just drop in an email to the Lodha Genius Program ID mentioning your situation. So we deal with it in a case-to-case manner.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm interested in science and maths, but I'm also interested in computer science.
Okay.
So is there any kind of a side program for it, like a subject?
No, there's no problem at all. We are including computer science in science and within sciences and mathematics. There are people who will be teaching, the handling of data and related to computer science in all of science, and also to some extent and certainly there in the projects also. So, yeah, computer science is not excluded by any means.
And the required devices will be provided by the campus.
Gaurav wanted to add something. Please go ahead, Gaurav.
Yeah, I wanted to add that the problem solving is suitable for everybody, and it often involves using the computer, and and this is a desirable quality for even computer science students. So yes, it's very welcome. Thank you.
So as Ambika mentioned, everyone does the problem solving in mathematics and everyone has a project. So you're not, compartmentalized into doing only one or the other.
Yeah. It's very, very lateral in nature, Ishan. So you will get a bit of computer science in a lot of the subjects we mentioned.
Okay, ma'am. And required devices will be provided by the campus only.
Yes, of course. We do have computers for you, but if you want to bring your own laptops and whatever tablets, you're most welcome to do that. But otherwise, we do have workstations.
So,
okay, thank you, ma'am. That's all.
Vijay, do you want to say something?
No, I was just wondering if you've got no more questions. I just wanted to reiterate that all your questions which are put in the chat box will be noted down, and our FAQs, if they don't already address any of them, they will be addressed. Specific variations which are individually required, any answers, do drop an email and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. And also some are asking about the registration link. I think it is a registration link. I mean, the application portal link. If you go to the website I've given in the webinar chat window, you can see the Lodha Genius Programme.com website link. The application link is right there. So you can do that. So many questions on the questions on the exams. So I'm just browsing through to see if there's something which is we have missed. All the deadlines we have discussed. I think most of it we have cleared. So somebody's asked about the application fee. As we said, it's a 100% scholarship program. There is no tuition fee. There is no fee for even the travel, though you will have to book your travel initially to come here, whether it's by air or by train, and then we will reimburse you as soon as you come on board. But otherwise, there is no fee included in it. And there are a couple more questions which have come up. Maybe we can take two more questions and close the session. So there is again question from Shraddha. Shraddha, do you have a question?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just forgot to lower the hand.
Okay. Yeah, please lower a hand if you're done with your questions. Otherwise, we'll just lose time on that. There's a question from Shwetna. Shwetna?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. In a previous question, you had mentioned that if I have given my 10th exams, then I need to write 11th because I'm going to be in 11th this year.
Okay.
So I have to upload my 9th and 10th mark sheets.
Yes.
But the 10th mark sheet won't be available till after the deadline.
Okay. So in that case, you can do the previous 2 years, which is 9th and 8th. Don't worry about what's been showing in the portal, but just upload the previous 2 years.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. And I had another question. What exactly is the selection criteria?
So the selection criteria is mainly based on the test score, which is going to happen on the April 15th. That's where the online test is going to happen, and the whole discussion about the aptitude test. So we will be assessing you based on that test.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And we have, I don't know whether Amrita, I hope people have lowered their hands and it's actually they want to ask questions now. That's why they've raised it. Amrita?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have question now. Recently, I've given my 12th exam. So can I apply for it?
You have given the 12th standard exam and then going to college?
Yes.
For your undergrad? No, I don't think you are eligible to apply because you have to be in 12th standard as of May 2023. So which you won't be. So I'm sorry that you won't be eligible.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe we can take one more question and then end the session. So we are already overshot the time. We'll take a question from Mihir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
So I was in a JEE test prep school in my 11th grade, that is dummy school. But now I'm shifting to a regular higher secondary school in my 12th grade. And I've already asked for my leaving certificate from the dummy school and they are not very keen on giving a recommendation letter. But I have good relations with my 10th standard high school. And I will also get my 11th standard grades only after 10th of April. So can I submit my LOR from the 12th standard school and grades of my 9th and 10th standard?
Yes, of course you can. Please go ahead. The idea, as Vijay explained, of the recommendation letter is not for any special purposes. It's just to make sure you will come on campus and the schools will let you attend the 4 weeks program. Because in some cases, people do not have vacation and they'll have to skip classes. So it's basically to make sure that will be cleared. So it's okay. You can do whatever is convenient for you in the situation.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yeah. I think we many questions and some raised hands, but we will be taking a note of all these questions and we'll be putting up in the FAQ section on our website, like Vijay said. And Vijay and Gaurav, do you want to say something to close the session?
Well, just to say that thank you all very, very much. It's been very valuable interacting with everyone. And we will get back to you with an updated FAQ if needed and specific answers on email if needed. Thank you very, very much.
And also we will have another webinar next week at 11:30, not 12:30. So please be there to ask questions. And we'll also have somebody from the Ashoka University from the Office of the Learning Support, the head of the Office of Learning Support, Reena Gupta, who will be interacting with you and explaining about what it takes to be a genius, basically the challenges a genius kid would go through. And also we will also be taking FAQs from you. That's a given. So you can ask the questions in the webinar, or you can watch the recording and then get the clarifications, or you can write to us in the email ID, which I have put in the webinar chat window. And Gaurav, do you have anything to say?
No, thank you very much for coming here and look forward to getting your applications.
Yes, please do not think twice. Go ahead and make your applications right now. And also, if you have any queries, please write to us. We will try and answer it in less than 12 hours time. Thank you. Thank you for all coming here and spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Thank you.